people make this mistake when they are very fresh.
Yeah.
Either in relationships and even in marriage. You tend to lose yourself because you are insisting on companionship, Let's watch a movie together. Let's wash the dishes together. Let's go to the market together. It's a little dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because you need to come in whole. It is also very important at the end of the day to find things you can do together. Even the most different of people can always find things they can do together.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.
Now, and we've been talking matters freedom and also accountability, but because I think it brings us to a point where people usually fight for what do I have, what do I get, so it has been all about me nataka nakanga hivi. So how do we make sure that we don't lose each other in terms of in a relationship in as much we are pursuing our own freedom and also being accountable?
Lose each other in what sense?
Lose each other in terms of you lose the marriage. You can lose even that commitment. You lose because sasa nyote nasema mimi nataka hii. Many people nowadays get into relationship with what they can get
out of it,
not what they can give. And not everyone can compromise. Kuna ngine bele mimi nakwanga hivi, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Kwanga hivi, imagine.
Yeah. God.
And so how do we make sure that we don't lose this commitment? Yes, even in our pursuit of being accountable and also seeking that by personal freedom.
Yeah. So starting it off from even just what you've said, that mina kwanga hivi. So when we say that we need people to be free, to be independent, to be who they are,
yes,
this still needs to be done with the responsibility of how who you are affects the other person in mind. Because even when we talk of personality, this is where now you find again, because people have been told, usienda kubadilika because of someone. You have to strike the balance between kubadilika in the sense of changing who you are,
yes,
and kubadilisha tabia fulani ambazo they are not in alignment with staying with someone's daughter or someone's son.
Yeah.
Kuna tabia, there are aspects of your personality that you need to know how to work around to be able to accommodate people. Actually, also one of the people we were discussing this today with mentioned how mentioned about personality and the fact that and we share this personality with her, very assertive. And you see, this is something about me that I wouldn't want to lose, because this is me. This is me. When I am in a discussion, I might end up, like even taking over the discussion.
Yeah.
But the same way, for example, at work or elsewhere, I have to ensure that I don't end up again being so assertive that other people's opinions are never heard, or, that's the same way in a relationship, for example.
Yes.
For example, in relationship-wise, I am a woman. I am a wife. If my assertiveness is going to come out as, okay, at the risk of locking heads with feminists, not submissive, then it's going to be a problem. So I have to ensure that in my being me, I don't end up being disrespectful.
Yes.
Or because like me, those of us who are assertive women out there and have this very, very strong personality, one time or the other you will experience something. You said something, but the way it came out, your dude looked at you like, oh really? So either you came out as if you're commanding them,
yes,
or as if you're just saying, but this is done, but for you it's just how you were strongly coming out. And so you will find that you need to be to not really to tame, to work around your personality so that the way that it comes out does not harm the other person. And with regards to that, it's not just the women, even the men. There are men who will have such a strong way of saying things that, for instance, they end up, you might sound like you don't respect your wife's opinion.
Yes.
And that is not what you were doing. So you need to work around whether it's language or your tone, so that much as you are very strong in what you say and you are very knowledgeable in a certain subject, you still let them see that you respect what they are saying, or that you're still eager to hear, for example, what their opinion is. Because sometimes the way you bring out your opinion tells the other person, this is done. This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And it comes out as it's not what I'm thinking. It's just coming out as it's what needs to be done. Right? So you need to work around this is how I really think things need to be done, so that it comes out as an opinion, and it comes out as I would want to hear how you think this should be done, right?
Yes.
So there is a responsibility in, still, this is who I am and I can't change who I am. Don't put on that arrogance. No. Sometimes who you think you are is not what God wanted you to be.
Yes.
No. You are shaped by, there's a lot of things that have come into your life that have shaped certain opinions you've held on to, and now you're claiming that's who you are. It's not really who you are. It's a habit you've learned. It's an opinion you held. And so you become very defensive about something that may be destructive to the relationship, and it's not helping you either, right? And then with regards to, let's not lose... Okay, first of all, don't lose you, in the sense that, like we said, I can't end up loving football, loving thriller movies, loving this and this, because those are the things my husband wants. Now, freedom dictates that if really I don't feel this thing, if I'm scared of watching a thriller movie, I shouldn't start forcing myself and getting nightmares just because my husband loves to watch them, and I shouldn't be leaving him to watch alone. Nah. Actually, there is let me just allow me to read this.
Yes.
Because this one came from a friend. She gave me such a good perspective. Dakika moja tu, when we were talking about how then do you ensure that you still have companionship, even if everyone is not really doing their own thing. Like, I maintain my interests, I maintain my personality, you maintain yours, but somehow we still end up being together. So she was like, she was saying, I once dated a guy who played golf. I won't mention her name because the guy might hear, and I don't know if they're still together. She said, I once dated a guy who played golf, so I forced to end an ayeye. Right? We left that place more frustrated than happy. He couldn't hang out with his buddies. And then I, on the other hand, I can't get why someone is happy hitting a white ball to a hole.
Where?
And that's how she learned her lesson of loving you does not mean I go with you everywhere.
Yeah.
If I don't enjoy golf and I come one day and I can't make sense of it, or even when you explain, I'm happy for you, but I don't think I can sit there and watch that thing. Unless there's a competition and I need to cheer you, right? Then I have no business following you around or everywhere, you know? So there is that element of you kufuatana, and people make this mistake when they are very fresh.
Yeah.
Either in relationships and even in marriage. You tend to lose yourself because you are insisting on companionship, you know. Let's watch a movie together. Let's wash the dishes together. Let's go to the market together. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
Let's go to town together. Let's go to this wedding together. Let's go to this. Kidogo kidogo bwanako ataanza kukufuata bridal shower. You know.
Yeah.
So it's a little dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because you need to come in whole.
Yeah.
Remember the concept of 1 + 1 = 1. According to the maker of marriage, the two shall become one. So it's a whole you. And God knows why you, who loves washing dishes, came across someone else who can wash clothes but can't stand a sink. It is so that while you're washing dishes, yeah, ende afue nguo.
Yes.
Or when you are washing dishes, he can come there and probably give you stories, but doesn't have to join you in the washing of dishes, if you get what I mean. And this could be a whole lot of different activities. So if you go into interests and the spaces that people are in, there needs to be the freedom of that freedom, so that it facilitates you coming in whole and coming in happy. If playing badminton makes me happy, then I come into that relationship happy. So I need to do the things that make me happy, because eventually this happiness comes home.
Yes.
Right? Eventually you are interacting with a happy person. So why don't you want me to be happy? Right? So if you keep forcing me to do only the things that you do, you're limiting me from drawing happiness. Like me, for example, I get a lot of energy from being around people, right? Yeah, okay, I will have my moments where I want to lock myself in the house the whole day. But many times, I will thrive at bridal showers, or baby shower, or piga story na nani. And I have friends who I will enjoy a 4 hours date with, because we will sit there and talk and talk and talk. Or certain groups of friends,
yes,
who, if we go out together to chape story, nani stories in a range from here to Timbuktu, my heart is full. I'm bringing that full heart home. So my husband is happy that he's experiencing a happy person. But if he prevents me from going into spaces where this is where my energy is rejuvenated, this is where I come back happy, and then what is he getting? He's getting a sad, gloomy person for a partner.
Yeah.
And that's the same even when it comes to knowledge and exposure. When I go to these places, I get different perspectives on things.
Yes.
I get different perspectives on life, on education, on parenting, on money. I bring these perspectives home, which means I am gathering different things. If my husband watches a lot of movies, there is what he will gather from that. The opinions he gets in his circles, because there are circles that he will be in, honestly, that nikienda hapo, nita experience history ya golf, because you will even feel left out. And then you're preventing him from interacting with his friends the way he would. Like some of the groups, like, for example, my husband, there's this vibrant group they have of high school alumni, right? Some of them have ended up becoming mutual friends. But do you know, I will rarely ever accompany him to any of those meetings, even if it's just a very casual meeting. Because them, when they come together, they click, like they have memories together, they have a life, certain life together, they have things, there are things they've been discussing. So me, I'll just be there. That desperado nini of you're trying to force yourself into conversations that you're not a part of.
Yeah.
Then him now, he's training to have his good time with his friends, and at the same time trying to include you somehow. You get?
Yeah.
What for, honestly?
Utakuwa tu hapo kusema by the way.
Yeah.
Wow,
by the way.
Wow. Like ambulance.
Ouch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you get fresh perspectives, but then now the risk of ending up leading separate lives, because say we're working Monday to Friday, if every weekend me I have a date with my girls and he has some activities doing with his boys,
yes,
or there's something he's doing, what will we end up doing? Our bond starts to be affected.
True.
So it is also very important at the end of the day to find things you can do together. Even the most different of people can always find things they can do together. Hata kama ni kuchapa story bas. Mnaweza chapa story pamoja.
Yes.
If you cannot at the minimum sit and talk, then you should not have been together to begin with, because that's basic communication, right?
Yes.
Then now move from there to getting things that you can do together. Or it's taking a walk. Maybe you both enjoy nature. Maybe there will be something that you will find, a few things that you will find that you can do together, and then create time for them. Remember, much as we are talking about a lot of natural things, relationships have to be very intentional. So you will have to intentionally create time for these activities. Create time to be together. Sometimes you don't feel like being together. Sometimes it may get boring, but please remember that much as each one of you has something else to do, it is still very important that you stay a lot together and in touch. So you have to strike that balance. Yeah.
Wow. And thank you so much for shedding the light on that. But we just wanted to even encourage someone, even as we sample a few questions coming in. Remember, you can keep your questions coming through on 0702-969-969. Because when we started this conversation, we talked about people who are afraid of getting married because probably they will lose something. You know, somebody the other day was making a joke that marriage is the only place that when you get married, you lose your degree and you gain your master.
Yeah. Okay.
If you don't get it, forget about it. You get it?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So there are those people who are afraid of getting married. And anasema sasa, what if niingia hapo and then mtu nikazie maisha, or maybe niingia hapo and then I cannot do my own thing, or maybe so many people are afraid of getting married because of what they have seen. You know, maybe they have seen maybe their mom being mistreated, anakuwa anafinywa, or maybe anakaziwa maisha. So some of them are afraid of getting married because of what they have seen that is not working, or maybe they have seen that they've been robbed of freedom. Don't go to this place. Stay at home. Be a housewife. So some, especially ladies who have established their career, some of them, they're afraid of getting married because they're afraid of submitting. And maybe they will lose even the things that have been building, maybe the career that's been building for a while. So what would be a word of encouragement?
My first word of encouragement, stroke cancel, is talk about these things. Please don't leave things to chance. Don't leave things to chance. Don't observe from a distance and see, he's good. Because this person may seem cool when you're in a relationship, only for you to get married and you realize they actually believe that once you're married, then it changes kabisa, you know. And I'm talking about the level of accountability and responsibility, and the level of allowing people to still have some freedom of personality and interest and what have you. So it is good that even as you experience a person and even as you lay these foundations, that you speak. Please don't leave things to chance. Like, be as open as asking the question, when we marry, do you think that I can still go out and watch football with the boys?
Yeah.
And hear what they say about it. Talk about it. And it's not you asking that tena mtu akisema ujue sasa this is quits, this is a red flag. No, I mean talk about it. Like, bring in the conversation so that you guys talk about it, so that you find some middle ground. You find the root of the issue. Because when you ask that, then it opens the conversation to what are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to achieve with this question? And that is where the question lies. You may never even go out to watch with the boys. Maybe you might end up just wanting to watch it from home, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have discussed something that has set some ground for, at least we know that what we need to do is, as people even develop new interests, that we need to be considerate about who we're hanging out with. Because maybe some of these concerns are, you can go watch with the boys, but where do you go watch these things? Because I don't think I'm okay with you watching in a club, for example.
Yes.
Like, no, I wouldn't go watch in a club, nini. And then maybe the other concern is, who are these friends? Because remember, like I said, the people you interact with, that's the energy you bring home. So if you are going out to watch football, but the guys you're watching football with, at halftime vitu zina discuss ni vile wanawake achana nao bana, hapana bana, siku hizi mi hata nimeamua sitakwambia mtu mali naenda, you know. It's all the kind of things you're going to constantly listen to. Then I don't think it's a good idea to go watch football. So then you will realize the issue is not the football. Maybe the issue is does that mean that you will always be out watching matches? Ligi kienda kuisha, for example, you know, some matches are packed back to back. Does that mean you're going to watch all those matches? Then what does that mean?
Yes.
Will I end up feeling emotionally neglected?
Yes.
Or are you somebody who will still prioritize me in the sense that you could actually sit down to decide, mechi hizi si lazima nikaone, and then you take advantage of that time to be really present for someone, so that the day that you go out and watch another match, then they don't really feel it, you get. So it's a thing of, you need to know what people think, you need to know what values they hold, and you need to not hold shallow conversations, Aki. So that question of, when we get married, do you want me to text you at every break at work to tell you how I'm doing? That question should not end at yes. It should be a deeper conversation about the why. What does texting you at every break mean? What does it mean to you if I don't text you, for example? And then generally build your own culture. I know our minds are shaped a lot by what we saw. You are very correct about that. I saw my mother, nini, and so I don't want nini. So we have those mentalities. But then we have to work to create our own culture, to create a new. And you can't create a new alone. You can't create a new in your head, but you're creating a new about a relationship, and you're not involving the other person in that relationship. So you want to create a new culture aside from what you saw with your parents or with other marriages that were around you. But then you do that by creating it with now the person that's coming into your life, right? So you need to allow yourself to create a new. For the career women who are afraid, you need to decide whether you are really afraid of your freedom in its true essence going, or how do I put this without inviting attack?
I see avoiding violence,
I don't like violence on a normal day. I cause a lot of it, but it's not actually the thing I'm usually out causing. Like as a career woman, is the issue really freedom in its essence? There's a lot of that pride and so on that really allows you not to even want to understand submission. Is your issue the understanding of submission? Because that could be the problem. Is your issue you are choosing not to understand submission but to understand feminism? Because if you're being feminist without understanding also what God requires of you, you won't be able to strike a balance. Feminism in its original sense is very okay, but then you're also subject to the word of God. Then you need to set out to understand what submission means, so that when you go into a relationship, you know exactly what you're looking for, you know what you are, what you want, how you want the relationship to be conducted. But you can't just sit there thinking about how your money will now be controlled. Now you're you can't do that. You need to understand this submission that you're talking about and see whether actually that is what it means.
How can guys get in touch with you? Uko upande wa social media?
Kama kawaida, and Muitiriri is my name on Facebook, on TikTok, and on any other social media that you want to find me. You will find me somehow, and Muitiriri.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
96.9 FM, Pearl Radio.